Today we'll be sharing encounters drivers have had while driving through the States. These dashcam clips caught skinwalkers, actual ghosts, and mysterious humanoid creatures.
Look at those claws. It's standing up like a person. I can't believe this.
Once you see what's waiting on these roads, you'll never drive alone again. One night, a group of friends was driving to a hill resort in Shimla, Himachal Pradesh, India. The road was dark and silent, and they were already nervous because of the steep hillside. Suddenly, they saw a strange figure a short distance ahead. It was walking upright and wearing a long white dress. Frightened, they reversed the car and waited for it to cross the road and disappear into the darkness. Later, they showed the video to locals, who said it was a witch believed to roam those mountains and scare passers-by. Werewolf sighting. A man was driving through Pisgah National Forest in North Carolina when he noticed a large creature standing upright beside a tree and scratching it with its claws. Its body was covered in thick, dark gray fur, and from behind, it looked like a wolf.
Look at those claws. It's standing up like a person. I can't believe this. Keep it steady, steady.
But it was far too large to be a normal wolf. Frightened, he thought it might be a werewolf. Not wanting to take any risk, he turned his car around and went home, believing the forest was unsafe to visit alone.
Oh my God. It's really doing it. Nobody's gonna believe this.
God of nature. After spending winter vacation at Coldfoot Camp in Alaska, USA, a man was driving home on the Dalton Highway when he saw a strange creature standing in the middle of the road. It had long black hair, deer-like ears, and large antlers rising from its head. Its body was covered in a strange red fluid, and it made unsettling sounds. When the man asked if it needed help, the creature suddenly became aggressive and struck the car's headlight with one of its antlers. Frightened, he sped away from the area. Later, he searched online and came to know that it resembled Cernunnos, the horned god of nature. Witch on 4. At 3 a.m. in Ipoh, Malaysia, a man was driving home after a late-night party with friends when he saw something horrifying on the road. The creature moved on all fours, its body covered in thick black fur. But what unsettled him most was its face, which looked human, with pale skin and a visible nose. Shaken, he later showed the footage to his grandfather, who believed it might have been a witch caught in the middle of transforming, with the face of a human and the body of a coyote.
Oh my God.
Horrifying figure. On the 5th of May, a man was driving with his family to a hill resort for a long weekend in Skagway, Alaska. He saw an eerie figure dressed in white with long, messy black hair standing in the middle of the road. He hit the brakes, and the figure turned toward him. It was stabbing its own belly with something in its hand, and its clothes and the road were stained with red fluid. Horrified, he reversed the car, thinking it was a witch, and quickly changed his direction.
No!
Hairy road creature. One night in Osaka, Japan, a truck driver was waiting at a red light when he noticed a small, dark creature crossing the road before slipping into the shadows. It walked upright like a human, but its body was covered in black hair, and it was far too small to be a person. What made the sight even stranger was the odd way it moved, slow and unnatural. Curious, he shared the footage on YouTube, where viewers dismissed it as just a monkey crossing the road. Bone-chilling encounter. In Kuching, Malaysia, a man was driving to the doctor for a routine checkup, unaware it would be his last trip. Along the roadside, he noticed a strange figure with a grayish body and a bald head wrapped in an orange cloth. Thinking it might need help, he stopped the car. Suddenly, the figure dropped low, made eerie sounds, and moved toward him in a jerky way. Then, it leapt into the car, and later, the man was found unresponsive inside. Police are still investigating the case. Horrifying twisted figure. A man was driving with his friend at 4 a.m. when his dashcam captured a frightening figure lying in the middle of the road. Curious, he stopped to get a better look, but was shocked by what he saw. The figure had a human-like body twisted at strange angles, and its face was hidden behind strands of black hair. It moved on all fours, then suddenly stood up and began walking backward. Terrified, they quickly reversed the car and took another route. Convinced it was a witch about whom his grandfather had warned him. Rakes sighting. One night, a man was driving along a hilly road when his tire got punctured. While waiting for help, he noticed something bizarre that terrified him. A pale creature was hiding behind a large tree. It suddenly moved quickly on all fours and disappeared into the darkness. What made the sight even more disturbing was its human-like shape, with a head, arms, and legs like a person. After seeing it, he called 911 and showed the video to the police, who claimed it might be the Rake. Witch of Lai Chi Wo. A man from Lai Chi Wo, Hong Kong, China, went to water his field when he noticed a strange figure holding a lantern and waving at him. The figure had a pale face and messy hair, which frightened him. He got out of his car, turned on his flashlight, and looked around, calling out to see if anyone was there, but he found nothing unusual. As he got back into his car, someone knocked on the side window. He looked over and saw a distorted face with red marks and creepy eyes. Then sped away, believing it was a witch from the story he once heard in childhood. Cryptid sighting. A man was driving out of town with his family to attend a friend's wedding in Tambun, Bekasi, Indonesia, when something strange made him stop the car. In the middle of the road stood a black creature on all fours, its body covered with black fur. At first, they thought it was a calf, but when it lifted its head, they were horrified. Because its face looked almost human, with visible eyes, a nose, and swollen lips. The creature moved slowly and fearlessly, and the family could only wait in silence, wondering what they had just seen. Frightening figure. One dark night, a traffic warden was patrolling Yellowstone River Road in Livingston, Montana, when he received a call from his supervisor, who was watching the dashcam feed. The supervisor asked in alarm, "Who is sitting beside you?" Confused, the warden looked at the passenger seat, but it was empty. On the dashcam, however, a strange figure could be seen sitting there, with glowing eyes, messy black hair, and a pale, weathered face.
No llevo a nadie. Entonces, ¿quién es la que está sentada al lado de usted?
Shocked, they later believed it was a spirit, especially since that road was long rumored to be haunted at night. Open discussion. Just a couple of months ago, a woman went to her farmhouse after receiving a notification from the CCTV camera on her phone. As she stepped out of the car, she sensed something moving in the nearby trees. After a while, a pale, humanoid creature with a hairless body and thin limbs emerged from the darkness and leapt toward her. She screamed in terror, but no one was around to help.
See that? Okay.
Her camera was later found lying beside the car, but the woman had vanished. To this day, she was never seen again, and some authorities believed the creature was the Rake. Midnight apparition. One Saturday night, a woman was driving on a lonely highway when her dashcam recorded something off. Out of nowhere, a barefoot figure appeared standing in the middle of the road. What made the moment even more mysterious was that her car passed straight through it, as if it were made of smoke. Shocked, she stopped the car and looked back, but nothing was there. The road was completely empty. On her way back, she could not stop wondering if it had been a ghost that might follow her. Creepy road entities. Late one night, a man was driving along Clinton Road in West Milford, New Jersey, when his dashcam captured two strange figures on the road. They seemed to be feeding on something, their bodies smeared in red, with distorted faces. Terrified, the driver stopped and stepped out of his car to get a better look, but within seconds, the figures had vanished. All that remained was a dragging trail leading into the darkness. On his way home, he could not shake the feeling that something sinister had happened there that night. Possessed girl. One night, an Uber driver picked up a girl from Archer Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. At first, everything seemed normal, but after a while, her behavior turned disturbing. Her eyes were glowing, and she was slowly moving her head from side to side. Then she opened her mouth in an unusual way, twisted her face, and stuck out her tongue. Her neck also seemed bent at an unnatural angle. The driver tried to stay calm, but the sight scared him. Later, after watching the footage again, he became convinced that something dark had taken over her. Trapped inside the truck. In bumper-to-bumper traffic in Boston, USA, nobody expected to see this. There was a small hole on the side of a big truck, and more mysteriously, a hand was coming out of the hole, moving desperately, as if someone inside was in trouble and asking for help. The driver shared the clip on YouTube where one of the viewers suggested it might be a victim of human trafficking. Otherwise, a hand coming out of a truck like that made no sense at all. La Llorona Witch. A man was driving on Suscon Road in Pittston Township, Pennsylvania, when he saw a terrifying figure running toward his car. Panicked, he quickly reversed, but the figure kept coming. It had messy hair, torn clothes, bulging eyes, and a neck bent at a strange angle. The sight frightened him so badly that he could not sleep for 2 nights. He kept thinking about La Llorona, the vengeful spirit from old stories, and feared that what he saw might have been her. Humanoid figure. A man was driving to his farmhouse in Conway, New Hampshire, hoping to enjoy some peaceful time in nature. But along the lonely road, he saw something unsettling. A strange figure was sitting barefoot in the middle of the road. It looked human, with a human-like body and face, yet the way it moved on its hands and feet seemed unnatural. Shocked, the man slammed on the brakes and waited for it to pass. Believing it might be something paranormal, he quickly drove away without daring to look back at the mysterious creature. Skinwalkers. A man was driving along a narrow forest road in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, when his dashcam captured something strange. A tall creature with long, thin legs quickly crosses the road ahead. The sight was so sudden that he could not understand what he had seen, but when he replayed the dashcam footage, he was stunned. It was not one creature, but 2 figures running on all fours with human-like heads. In that chilling moment, he feared they were the Skinwalkers he had only heard about in stories. Teleported man. On June 5, 2025, a man was driving to his office in Georgetown, Penang, Malaysia. Without warning, a strange figure appeared out of nowhere in front of the car ahead, which nearly missed it. He looked as if he had been teleported from another dimension and walked slowly to the side. His appearance looked human, but what made him apart was the way he appeared, which left viewers scratching their heads when the video was shared on TikTok. Haunted house. A group of friends was driving past an abandoned house in Sanford, Florida, when something chilling caught their attention. Suddenly, a light inside the house suddenly turned on. Even though the gates were locked and no one was supposed to be there, they stopped the car. After a moment, the light went out again. They stared at the dark house for a while, but saw nothing moving anywhere. By the time they left, they were convinced they had witnessed something paranormal. Figure in black. In Lijiang, Yunnan, China, a man was driving home after buying groceries when he saw a terrifying figure walking alone on the road. He honked, but it kept moving without even looking at him. It had long black hair and wore a dark dress. When it finally turned its head, The man froze in fear. Its face was pale, with black eyes and dark lips, and it held something in one hand.
Oh my god! What are you doing? Get out of the room!
Panicked, he quickly reversed and took another route. But to his horror, the same figure appeared in front of him again, this time holding a walking stick. It pointed the stick at his car, and the engine and headlights suddenly ran out. When the lights returned, the figure was on his windshield.
Uy, mija.
Seconds later, it vanished, and the man was never seen again. Cemetery ghosts. One evening, a man was driving past a cemetery in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, with his family when they noticed something strange on their car's display. It showed invisible figures appearing and disappearing along the roadside.
What the fuck is that?
But outside, there was nothing except darkness. The family was terrified, especially because they had heard stories about ghosts haunting people who passed by that cemetery. Avoiding any risk, they quickly drove away, convinced they had just seen something paranormal. Highway trap. Just a year ago, a man was driving alone at midnight on Highway 90 in Biloxi, Mississippi, when he came across something unsettling. Flashing traffic cones were placed in the middle of the road, and a car was parked nearby. He quickly hit the brakes. Moments later, a man in a black hoodie and blue jeans stepped out from the darkness and moved toward his car. The driver remembered stories about looters using traps like this on the highway. Sensing danger, he did not wait any longer and sped away from the scene.
Can I help you with something?
Hanba spirit. After finishing a late-night shift in Sanya, Hainan, China, a man was driving home along Jifang Road when he saw something frightening ahead. The figure was looking blurry, almost like a shadow, but as he got closer, it slowly took the shape of a woman with a twisted face, arms stretched wide, and a body moving in strange ways. A man riding a bicycle also noticed it, but was too scared to stop. The driver tried to pass, but the figure seemed to block his way. In panic, he reversed at high speed and took another route. Later, his grandfather said it looked like Hanba, a spirit from Chinese folklore. Stopped by unknown. On a Saturday night, a man was driving along Pinelands Road in Sunnybank Hills, Brisbane, Australia, when his dashcam captured something strange. A pale-faced man suddenly appeared in the middle of the road and blocked his path. The driver tried to pass from the side, but the figure would not move. It stood there silently, as if it had no good intentions. Terrified, the man quickly reversed his car and managed to escape, leaving the mysterious figure standing in the darkness behind. Mysterious chase. Back in 2006, a police car was patrolling the Highway 94 in Dulzura, California, when officers spotted a white car speeding and began to chase it. Suddenly, the man inside the white car switched on a powerful light, which blocked their vision. After a while, the light went out, but mysteriously, the car had vanished from there. Maybe the driver used the light to hide his movements and quickly turned onto another road, or perhaps accelerated to an incredible speed and escaped. Alienoid stalker. In Kimza, a remote village in Arkhangelsk Oblast, Russia, a man noticed his dog behaving strangely. It kept barking rapidly, as if trying to lead him somewhere. One night, he decided to follow and check what was wrong. To his shock, he saw a tall, gray creature standing upright in the distance.
Holy
Frightened by the sight, he quickly ran back to his vehicle and left the area. Later, he shared the clip on Twitter. One commenter suggested that the mysterious figure might have been an alien watching human activity. Strange incident. A truck driver was driving peacefully one night on the Interstate 15, California, when he saw an unexpected person standing in the middle of the road. Suddenly, he threw his bicycle in front of the truck. The driver did not panic and kept moving, because he was a professional driver and was well aware that it was the robber's trap to rob him if he stopped and got down from the truck to inspect what was wrong. Yamoba sighting. 9 years ago, a man was driving to work in Jerome, Arizona, USA, when his dashcam recorded a strange figure standing in the middle of the road. The weather was cold, and the figure appeared completely still, almost frozen. It was dressed in black, carrying a bag, and was bent forward. Curious, he showed the footage to his grandfather, who said it looked like Yamoba, a terrifying witch from Japanese folklore. Mysterious car chase. Back in 2004, police were chasing an overspeeding car on the Glen Highway, Alaska, USA. During the chase, the driver suddenly lost control, and the car drifted backward. The officers swerved, and for a moment, it looked like the car had vanished. Then, it appeared again, swerving on the road as if it were not the human but a ghost driving the car. After a few miles, the car turned onto a narrow forest road, and the police followed close behind. But then, something chilling happened. The car veered slightly left, and when the officers reached there, they only saw its taillights fading in the distance, on the other side of a solid metal fence. There was no gate, no opening, and no sign of a crash. To this day, officers don't have any explanation that how the car passed straight through the fence. Figure standing, motionless. 7 years ago, a bus driver was traveling peacefully along the Sipali toll road in West Java, Indonesia, when something eerie happened. A greenish figure suddenly appeared in front of a red car ahead of him. The driver of the car swerved sharply and barely avoided it, yet the figure remained standing perfectly still in the middle of the road. It looked human, but there was something unnatural about it. After the footage was uploaded to YouTube, some believed it was a ghost, while others thought it was a desperate person seeking insurance money. Vanishing hitchhiker. 2 friends were returning from Kampung Tengah, Malaysia, after visiting a sick friend, when they noticed a strange person by the roadside. The figure pointed toward them, as if asking for a ride. A moment later, they were shocked to see it sitting in the back seat, even though they had not seen it get into the car, and then it disappeared without a trace. Frightened, they called the police, showed them the video, and the officer claimed the figure looked like an escaped man known for black magic, which may explain how he entered and vanished unseen. Nightmarish ride. In Houston, Texas, an Uber driver picked up a man from the Galleria. During the ride, the man fell asleep. Suddenly, he screamed very loudly.
Where am I?
What was that? As if something had taken control of him. The driver got scared, but the man apologized and said he had seen a nightmare.
Where am I?
What was that?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just had a nightmare.
Still, the driver did not believe him and asked him to get out of the car because he thought the man might be possessed. But why would he do that? What do you think? Unfamiliar bird. Just a week ago in Girona, Catalonia, Spain, a large crowd gathered around a police van, filming a strange creature that looked like a cryptid. It had strong claws, sharp nails, and wings covered in dark gray feathers. Its beak did not match any known bird, and it had tiny eyes on both sides of its head. The creature seemed very powerful, so it was tied up with metal chains. After some time, the police took it away to a secret lab, and no official news has come out since. Pontianak returned. Late at night in Pengliparan village, Bali, Indonesia, a man was heading home when he saw something strange on the road. It was a figure dressed in white with long black hair, moving in a crab-like way. He felt scared, but his curiosity made him step closer. When he saw its distorted red face, he was terrified. He became convinced that it was a Pontianak, a vengeful spirit from Indonesian folklore. Gray Wolf. A hunter was returning to his camp on the Lena Highway in Russia when he noticed a strange creature coming from the left side of the road. It walked on all fours, its body was covered in brown fur, and it looked like a gray wolf with a similar snout and eyes. The hunter grew frightened when it stopped in front of his car, stared at him, and moved closer. Then, strangely, it stepped back, sniffed the air, and stood waiting, as if it were tracking something nearby. Weeping Witch. On March 10, 2008, a man went to visit his lemon farm when he noticed a strange creature sitting on the ground. It had a grayish body, long nails, and seemed to be crying. Curious, he moved closer, but the creature made an eerie sound, as if warning him to stay away. Frightened, he quickly left the area. Later, he returned with help and searched the farm, but found nothing unusual. Whether it was a witch or something even more sinister remains a mystery for you to decide. Stopped by the robbers? After watching this clip, you may think twice before driving alone late at night. A truck driver was heading to Harbor Springs, Michigan, when his dashcam captured a frightening scene. He first noticed several people standing and sitting by the roadside. After a while, he found a tree blocking the road. Suddenly, the same group ran toward his truck. In panic, he reversed, but they began throwing objects at the vehicle. Fearing for his safety, he accelerated, drove over the fallen tree, and escaped. Later, highway police said the group may have been looters who had set up the trap to rob the truck. Vanishing Girl. A police officer chased a speeding SUV in Coober Pedy, a remote town in Australia. After stopping the vehicle, she asked the young girl why she had ignored the road signs and was driving so fast. The girl said she was in a hurry. She showed her driver's license and explained that the SUV belonged to her mother.
Here's my license, but this is my mom's car, so...
But when the officer walked over to inspect the vehicle, the girl suddenly vanished. There was no sound, no movement, and no sign of her anywhere.
Sit tight, sir. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Your registration is... What the...
Sarah?
The officer searched the area and called for backup to take the SUV into custody. Later, investigators discovered that the girl had actually died 5 years earlier. Road Phantom. Late one night in Sulawesi, Indonesia, a man was driving home after closing his workshop when his dashcam caught something strange on the road. At first, it looked like a human figure, but its body was covered in thick black fur. It crouched low to the ground, its back bent, and its hands stretched forward in an unnatural way. The man thought it might be a fake model left there to scare drivers, but then the creature slowly moved its head. Fear ran through him. He drove away quickly, wondering if he had just seen something supernatural. Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.